Welcome back to my show called in Brooklyn, Ethical Social Networking, and in Manhattan called Math, Science, and Ethical Living, and in Queens it's called Prosper Through Sane Economics. Prosper Through Sane Economics. Okay, maybe we should do some meditation. I meditate according to the instructions given by Sant Rajinder Singh, who is located at SOS.org. SOS stands for the Science of Spirituality. And they say, stay in your religion. Don't leave it. Just live up to it. Through meditation, get in touch. So the Science of Spirituality is headed by Sant Rajinder Singh. And there he is. He promotes treating everyone as a brother or sister. And that we should meditate every day, starting out gradually, 5 minutes and 5 minutes. There's a looking meditation and a listening meditation. And if you have problems because you're not, there's some people who say, I can't meditate, So just do a minute and a minute. But if you're normal, 5 and 5. Then you build up to 10 and 10. And then 15 and 15. But you don't go beyond a half hour until you become competent and are enjoying the meditations and getting control of your mind. And the most important thing beside meditating is selfless service. So we shouldn't hurt anybody's feelings ever. We're going to treat them with respect. And we should do service to earn a living, but it's sweat of our brow. And in addition, we should do selfless service without being concerned with any rewards, because it's the right thing to do to help those who are poor, sick, and needy. Be of some use in this world without being concerned for compensation, except maybe from the higher powers eventually. Okay, now, before we meditate, Sant Rajinder Singh will initiate people for free. No money is involved in helping others. But the requirements are that you have to become a vegetarian and not to eat meat, birds, or fish. Not to eat animals, in other words. Not to kill animals. To avoid recreational drugs, to avoid street drugs. Not to drink alcohol, because alcohol clouds the consciousness. And to work for your living. So those are the requirements of free initiation. And you can download videos and writings at SOS.org. In Manhattan, every Saturday, they have free talk from 11:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. at lunchtime. And then they have a free vegetarian lunch at 12:30 to 1:45 or to 1:45 p.m. And before they start the talk, from 10:30 to 11:30, they have a silent meditation. So they meet at 40 East 35th Street between Park and Madison, closer to Park Avenue. When you face south or downtown, you're facing the church. To the right, there's a staircase that goes downstairs, and a room is rented there that has these functions. Okay. So the benefits of meditation. Then we're going to meditate after we go over the benefits. The benefits of meditation. Get inner peace. To quiet the mind. If you have inner peace, you'll spread out of peace. To achieve more, whether it's in school or work or on your own projects. And you get guidance, so you're not lost in going nowhere. You learn to get clear goals and to see ways to reach these goals through meditation. And the most important thing is to awaken true love. The people who have a near-death experience, about 10 to 15% of them had a high experience and claim that they were pulled through a tunnel of light, their consciousness, when they were lying sort of dead, just for a little while. And this light that talked to them gave them a life review where they learned that the only thing that really matters is love. And in addition, gave them unconditional love, so much that they didn't want to come back. But they learned they had to. They were told they had to be revived by the wonders of medical science. And the Master claims that that's a low-level experience, that we don't have to go through a near-death experience to meet the radiant being. We can meet the radiant being through proper meditation and ethical living. Maybe I should put a sign up on ethical living before we meditate. These are the principles of ethical living. Truth. Always tell the truth, except not to hurt, not to create violence, or violence being hurting people, harming people. Non-violence includes vegetarianism, not to harm the animals. It includes humility, not to be so proud because we've got gifts. Just be humble. You have the, be thankful you got the gifts. Have gratitude. Purity, not to live a pure life, which also includes chastity, except to have children. We shouldn't waste our energy, in other words, on things that don't, anyway, that's another story. And selfless service and meditation. Those are the ethical principles promoted by the science of spirituality. And to work for our living. Okay, let's do some meditation. I don't know how long we'll meditate. We'll just meditate. The instruction is very simple. Get comfortable. Any position is okay, but what's preferred is just sitting, because how can you maintain the longest posture still? You want to be totally still. We close our eyes gently. We're fully alert but relaxed, and we look forward with our attention into the middle in front of us. We're totally still, don't move. And we look with effortlessly and constantly, and we mentally repeat something, whatever turns us on spiritually or ethically. So I chose love for atheists, and I chose I love God for myself or for you. But you could say Jesus Christ if that turns you on. whatever. So let's meditate for a little bit. We'll see how long. Okay. Okay, I was saying I love God 20 times in my head. I counted. Then there's another meditation, so that's the looking meditation. And then we stop the mental repetition of the mantra, and we keep our attention at the third eye, and we listen to the sound coming from above. Okay, a taste of looking and listening meditation you just had. Let's put this down. So what is the purpose of life? Do you know? I have a couple of signs on that to continue the spiritual approach. The purpose of life. Is to awaken love through proper meditation. And to do selfless service. Service without expecting any rewards, in other words. So we go to sos.org and you get free initiation into meditation by Sant Rajinder Singh. He's in Chicago most of the time, or in India. And if you can't go there, they have about 1,400 centers throughout the world, and one of his representatives in one of the centers can initiate you if you're willing to become a vegetarian and not use drugs or alcohol and work for your living. I got another sign on what makes happiness. Okay, the key to happiness. See, I once wrote this. Okay, we'll look at the other side too, maybe. The key to happiness. I say meditation, selfless service, and adjustment. See, meditation empowers us. Service, selfless service, creates harmony. And adjustment of our thoughts maintains inner harmony. If we accept reality, adjust to it. Our thoughts related to unfulfilled desires need to be adjusted for happiness, which is not easy. Desire, as the Buddha said, is the cause of all suffering. Okay. There's other sides too. I don't know what the other side of this one was. I don't even know. Oh, meditate. Okay, one on meditation. What's the other side of this one? Okay, but unconditional. Read this? Oh, maybe why not? I could take this, something I wrote. You know your purpose. Okay. We are here to awaken love through meditation. That's what the people have in their death experience. They realize all that really matters is to awaken love, or to have love. Then we become better integrated if we awaken love and be in harmony with ourselves. Love ourselves? We have to love ourselves in spite of our, not because of our knowledge, not because of our actions, but just because we are, that we be. Love ourselves just for being who we are. So it's not our actions we love. I was just thinking about that in terms of to love everything, but not to love the actions of everything, just everything. The actions have to be the actions that create harmony. We can love, and the actions that don't create harmony, we don't have to not love it. We have to correct those actions that are non-harmonious, that are harmful. In other words, then we'll function better and be of service and filled with peace and joy. What more could you want than to have unconditional love in spite of what you do, in spite of what you know, but just because you exist. So that's an idea to be cultivated, to love everything, but not to love all actions, just those actions that create harmony. Okay, so these are the ideas that I'm working on to promote. Maybe you can help me. Well, I have to meditate to awaken love. But you can help me mobilize for economic justice. That's what I'll be talking about the rest of the show. What is economic justice? And then if we work for economic justice, there's many aspects. There's income aspect, two aspects of income. One is a tax from the top shared with everybody else. And the other one is a mandate, not to take a penny away of the income, but to require them to invest it in the solar energy future, starting with weatherization of their homes. So that's income. Then there's a tax on pollution, especially carbon dioxide. And that money can be used in many ways. I'm suggesting, like James Hansen, who was the director of the NASA Goddard Space Center and a professor at Columbia, he says it should be shared equally among all the people. Okay, and the tax should be raised. At $35 a metric ton of carbon dioxide, we would get $210 billion shared among 300 million people, is $700 per person. And in 4 years, it would be raised to $115 a metric ton, according to Robert Reich, who was the Secretary of Labor under Bill Clinton, and now a professor of public policy at the University of California, Berkeley. He says, he didn't say how many years, but I would say in 4 years you could raise it to $115 a metric ton. From this book here, he says it would raise $600 billion. If we share it equally among 300 million people, each person would get $2,000. Thus a family of 4 would be making $8,000 in about 4 years. And the more important part of it is then solar energy and renewable energy would become more competitive than fossil fuels. We can tax what we don't want, which is fossil fuels, out of existence. So it's doable if we unite into 1, 10, 100 citizen network. Get 10 people in a week, or a day, even an hour could be done, or a month. And then in 2 weeks, or 2 days, or 2 months, 2 time cycles, you'd have 100 people. You could be a student and do this to promote economic justice. There's the income aspect, there's the pollution, getting rid of carbon products, taxing carbon dioxide. You don't want something to tax it out of existence or tax it into submission. And then there's wealth. We could tax wealth and pay off our national debt. The rich ought to have paid off the debt, but they didn't. They accumulated enormous wealth. $21 trillion from 98 to 2007 from the Survey of Consumer Finances. And now they got about $42 trillion. We'll know in about March or April of 2002. We'll know the 2010 figures every 3 years. They survey the country to see what how the wealth is distributed. Top 10% of households have currently about $42 trillion. And the bottom 90% have less than $12 trillion. So the top 10% got $30 more trillion. And we own $15 trillion. They could easily pay off the national debt. But it'd be too much of a shock to do it all at once. Let them do it gradually. In other words, 2% of 42 trillion would be $840 billion every year. And they were able to accumulate every year when they were accumulating $2.33 trillion. So they'd still be able to accumulate another $1 trillion or more every year, as well as paying off our national debt, which could be done assuming they accumulated nothing and they just had the 42 trillion and just made every year $1 trillion. In 18 years we could pay off our national debt. We could even do more. We could require the wealthy to invest. But some of this stuff would require amendment to the Constitution, which could be done if the people, 1, 10, 100. In 2 cycles, 2 time cycles, could be 2 weeks, you got 100 people, you got a went on a network. In the 3rd cycle, it's 1,000. 1, 10, 100, 1,000. In the 4th cycle, it's 10,000. In the 5th cycle, it's 100,000. In the 6th cycle, it's 1,000,000. 10 to the 6 is 1,000,000. And then in the 9th cycle, 10 to the 9 is 1 billion people in the 9th cycle by tens. And if you only go by threes, 1, 3, 9, 27, first cycle, 3, 9, 27, 81, 243, fifth. In the 17th cycle, it's 129 million people united. That could be in 17 hours. In 19 hours, or 19 cycles, it's over 1 billion people united, the whole world. For what? Economic justice. On income, on pollution, on wealth. We could cap wealth relative to everybody else. In other words, so there's cases of hyperinflation. We wouldn't wipe out the relationship between the, how many times the median to get $20 million. That should be maybe 10 million should be invested in a treasury bond. I think currently it's about 2% a year. So for 30 years you can get $200,000 without working. Well, the average or median person is making 50,000, family making 50,000. So, and then they still got $10 million to buy a yacht, to buy a decent condo, or rent a decent apartment. And and Bill Gates has a tax of $1 million, real estate tax. So he may be grandfathered in, maybe. But that's a more drastic idea to cap wealth. And some people want to cap income. but I would just cap wealth. So those people who have over $20 million, the excess money should go into investments of small businesses, but they couldn't capitalize on it. And those who have businesses and run businesses, they could still run the business, but they can't take out more money than the $20 million. That's just an idea of capping wealth. That doesn't have to be done, but it's a possibility. If we were united, we could amend the Constitution. I call that economic justice. We've got about 4 minutes left to go. Or 3 minutes, I should say. Okay, let me put up my email address. Also, I have something here. You can share my videos. I'm going to put up this video on YouTube. Go to YouTube, DK1 Seed. I put it in today, and they came back with nonsense. Normally, they come back with my websites. So you got to be careful. Anyway, maybe a capital T, YouTube DK1 Seed, and you could promote this to your contacts. Or you could email me at dkseed@gmail.com. I have something here that got lost. Okay. And you can email it to your contacts. But this is more important, what I'm going to show you now. So I'm looking for a soulmate to collaborate with, or anybody who wants to collaborate. I like to educate students. If you want to come on my show and maybe teach me something, but I'd like to teach you math. Constant rates, not well understood by teachers, math teachers, because it's used in science more, in chemical engineering, and chemistry, and physics. So if you want to help my show, you can contact me at dkc@gmail.com. And you get back automatically a leaflet on Robert Reich right now, and I'm going to develop that into a more general one. And my modification of his ideas. You can email me or snail mail me at P.O. Box 2866, New York 10163. 10163. So we got about 45 seconds to go for this show. So if you want to be on my show and learn some math and maybe some science and do some writing, contact me at dkseed@gmail.com, and we will transform this world to a beautiful place of peace, joy, and prosperity for all. So we just got a few more seconds, and I'll say have a great day and a Merry New Year for this coming. Bye-bye.